Say you're just about to score this amazing scene for Westworld 3, you open up your door and this happens. And worse still, on Cubase you might not even make it that far. You might just be opening up your template and suddenly you're faced with this screen. So what is going on and how do we put it right? Hello, it's Darren from Moonhare Studio here, and this is a problem that's caused me aggravation over the years. I've wasted so much time addressing this problem over and over again, and I have found a permanent solution now. But just to explain, the reason why this is happening is that your DAW simply cannot find the samples. This could be for several reasons. The first one could be that you physically yourself moved the samples to another location, or you may have renamed a folder just to make the structure a bit easier for you to navigate, in which case you're going to have to manually relink those folders, and I'll show you how to do that at the end, because that's the time consuming way to deal with this. The second issue could be a drive issue. So this mostly happens when you're using an external hard drive. It may be that the drive simply is not turned on. Check your hub. I've done that in the past. I forgot to turn a drive on. It could be that the drive itself is corrupt or has crashed for some reason, and that may require you to completely scrap the drive and start again with your backup. So always back everything up, even if you can download it off the net. You know, that takes a long time. It's much easier with a physical backup. I'm not going to cover that in this video. What I am going to do is go through this next one, which is when Windows itself reallocates the drive letter. So all your samples have been sitting on drive E for months and months, and then suddenly Windows decides it's going to call that drive F, and your DAW just cannot locate the samples. Right, so we're in Windows now, and the first thing we need to do is to hit the Start menu, and then type in the words create and format. In fact, actually, I don't even have to go that far because it's already pulled up the create and format hard disk partitions. That sounds really scary. Do not worry. We are not going to be formatting any hard drives. We're not doing anything that's going to destroy data. Just click on that because that will bring up the disk management. Now what we're going to do is find the hard drives that have been reallocated their letters. So I've got my three main sample drives here, H, I and J. Say for example they'd been reallocated from E, F and G. We could now do this to get them back to where they should be. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to put them on letters R, S and T, because those drive letters are way away from anything that the Windows management is going to do automatically, and they will stay permanently locked to those drive letters. So it doesn't matter whether you put a thumb drive in or an external hard drive, there's very little chance that Windows is ever going to come anywhere near them. But just use it to reallocate whatever letter you want. So here we go, we'll right click on this first drive and we're going to go down to change drive letter and paths. Click on that. Now you can see the drive letter that it's got allocated. We're going to change that, and then you've got a drop down menu which shows you all of the free letters that are available, the free drive letters. So I'm going to select R for that one. Click OK. It's going to warn me that by changing the drive letter I could disrupt programs. Obviously I know that. Just click on yes, and it's just brought up my new drive letter R and shows me all of my libraries in there, and I'm going to do that for all of the drives that I've got here. So change the letter, change, click down, call that one S, OK it and say yes, and then the final one there. You know, and this is very straightforward. Okay, So now all of those are reallocated. I'm physically going to have to do some donkey work because I'm going to have to relink the various samples that I've got by hand. And this is exactly the same process that I mentioned for those people that have renamed their folders or shifted stuff around in folders. So we'll move on to that next. But if you're just resetting your drive letters back to where they were before, you're finished, job done. So this is pretty long-winded. I've been through this before, and if you're going to do this with a big template, I don't really envy you. But the easiest way, really, it seems, or certainly the quickest way, is to browse for the folder yourself rather than searching the file system. You can do it, might work for you, but for me, I find that I know where my instruments are anyway. So this is the Grandeur, which is a piano from Native Instruments. So I'm going to go into my Native Instruments folder on my external hard drive, which we've now renamed R. Scroll down, find the correct one, which is the Grandeur. The samples are in that drive. Click OK, and now what it's going to do is it's going to load all those samples in. So it's done it reasonably quickly there, but if you've got a big sample library, say one of the large Spitfire libraries, that could take quite a while. But anyway, that is linked now, so theoretically that piano is now working, and yeah, there we go. So that's how to do that. Now what about the issue with the contact libraries? And so let's bring up a new instrument, add that instrument track, and as we can see, it's got a couple of the libraries there. Don't quite know how it's finding those, but you just have to go through one by one and you have to locate them. Now obviously that is looking for drive H. I've renamed the drive, and I think that one's probably at R. Again, what I could do is search file system to resolve automatically. I'm going to go for browse for folder because I know where it is, roughly speaking. It's either going to be in this one. What am I looking at? Albion. Yeah, there we go. In fact, I think all I have to do is click on the library, click yes, and there it is. So again, it's a case of going down these, browsing for the folder, finding the correct drive for your instrument. What are we looking at? Logia there. Click OK, locates it, and you just have to do that over and over again. It takes a bit of time, but once this is set up, if you've gone for that permanent option, you'll never have to do that again. If you've gone for the temporary option, all you'll have to do is reallocate those drive letters using the method that I showed you. I personally would rather just deal with it now and leave it forever, because I'm probably going to have to look at my own video to remember what I did to reallocate the drive letters anyway, but I'll leave that to you. I hope this has been useful, and let's get on with creating some music rather than delving into file folders and drive letters. Infuriating. So I'm probably one of the few YouTube channels that actively discourages people from subscribing. It's only to save your own disappointment, because my video posting is quite erratic, so you might not hear from me for weeks on end. But if you like these hints and tips and you want to check in on my health every now and again, I mean, it's pretty lonely here in COVID lockdown land, so knock yourself out.